reminder, please silence your cell phones. Notice is hereby given that the City Council of the City of Sandy Oaks, Texas will hold a regular meeting and a public hearing on Thursday, April 13, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. at City Hall, 22870 British Road, Sandy Oaks, Texas. A quorum of the City Council will be present and all agenda items may be acted upon. You can join the meeting at the Zoom link provided in the agenda. The public will be permitted to offer public comments in person, telephonically, or by audio as provided by the agenda and as permitted by the presiding officer during the meeting. By signing up with the city secretary at least 15 minutes in advance of the meeting, if providing comments in person and at least 2 hours in advance of the meeting by emailing the city secretary or by calling 210-607-0834 if speaking telephonically or by audio. An audio recording of the meeting will be made and will be available to the public in accordance with the Texas Public Information Act upon written request. Madam Secretary, may I have a quorum call, please?
Sure, Mayor. Alderman Krippner.
Here.
Alderman Tremblay.
Here.
Alderman McNeil.
Here.
Alderwoman Walker.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Madero.
Here.
City Attorney's here. Interim City Administrator Dr. Johnson.
Here.
We're all here. It's a quorum.
All right, please stand for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Under the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay, so at this time, we do have some people in presence that need to present, so I'm gonna, at 6:33 p.m., we're gonna jump to agenda item 8M. 8M. Michael, discuss and then consider a resolution on approval and action required under Texas Government Code 2254 for City of Sandy Oaks to provide a written statement and finding of the need for specialized contingent fee legal services and approval of revival and extension agreement with the Line Barger, Garden, Blair, and Sampson LLP in the City of Sandy Oaks for the collection of delinquent property taxes. Dr. Johnson, you have the floor.
Hello, Mayor, Council. My name is Julian Casillas, and with me is Leslie Murillo. We're here to consider the revival and extension of the existing contract, which would renew the contract from October 1st, 2025 to September 30th, 2030. We are your Bexar County tax litigation attorneys. We look forward to continuing our partnership with the city, and we're here to answer any questions you might have on the civil tax collection process. Thanks.
Open the floor for any questions. I could stay up here, sorry.
Yes, sir. Your fee and
Yes, sir.
as far as recoupment, has it changed? If so, what's the number now?
So it's 20%, and then this collection fee is actually of no cost to the city. It is passed on as part of the statutory penalty for delinquent taxes.
So it's passed on to the,
Delinquent taxpayer, yes.
so it's no cost.
No cost to the city.
Thank you.
And that's mandating, right, state mandating 20%?
Yes, it's up to 20%.
Has the city attorney reviewed the documents that we're approving today?
Yes, I did, and there's a resolution in the folder that is a written statement of finding for the need of specialized contingent legal services that is required for the council to make those findings, and then approval of the contract.
Where's the folder?
It's a resolution, it should be under 8. I believe all the
Yeah.
contract and they're all separate attachments.
And we've been on a year-to-year. correct?
Uh,
Last year?
We've been on a year-to-year because we have not, so on October 1st, 2025, when the existing 5-year renewal ended, we did not act immediately on that to extend another 5-year term. So today, we're asking that we retroactively revive starting October 1st, 2025, and extend the contract through September 30th, 2030. After which we would still have 3 additional extension option periods remaining on the contract that was signed in 2015.
There'll be 3 1-year extensions?
3 5-year options remaining.
Okay.
And actually, just want to clarify, I don't have the contract in front of me, but I think we're actually operating on a month-to-month after that previous extension right now. Just wanted to clarify that.
I thought we had in our read ahead something that was for 1 year. So I know that was the Mickey Ball for 5 years.
Are you still representing the city of San Antonio as well?
Yes, sir. We represent Bexar County, the city of San Antonio, numerous other cities such as Castle Hills, Universal City, Terrell Hills, to name a few. We also represent
Recording stopped.
all of the school districts within Bexar County.
What happened? I didn't hit anything. Hold on, let me see if I can get it back.
And you're muted then.
Well, I got it over here, so we're good. Okay, we're back on.
Recording in progress.
Yeah, so just back up a little bit. Yes, we do represent Bexar County. We just got our contract renewed with Bexar County. We still represent the city of San Antonio, as well as numerous other cities within the county, and all the school districts. And the one advantage to that is that we're able to collect on behalf of all of the taxing entities at once through the Bexar County Tax Assessor Collector's Office. We act as a liaison between the city of Sandy Oaks and the Tax Assessor Collector's Office, and we make it really easy so that everyone is getting collected, and we're able to do it with one stop. And Leslie and I are the ones that actually go to court, go to the tax docket downtown in the Bexar County District Courthouse. We're the one answering any questions the taxpayers might have, making sure everyone's getting their exemptions on, deferrals, able to answer any questions the taxpayer might have. So yes, but to answer your original question, we do represent the city of San Antonio.
How far delinquent does the property owner become before you contact them? A year or 2 years?
So just to go over a little bit of the process, bills go out in October of every year, and you have until February or the end of January to pay before you are considered delinquent. Our office actually doesn't get involved until July, which is the turnover date. That's the statutory turnover date, and that's when the statutory fees would attach. Between that period, you are still considered delinquent. You're still getting a penalty and interest, but it's not until the attorney's fees get added on in July. But we're able to collect however many years go back on the tax roll. There is statute of limitations, of course, for 20 years for real property, but if you are on a tax deferral, for example, or bankruptcy, that would toll the limitations period. But so we're able to collect what's on the roll.
DNA, we've utilized their services in the past. I think we can utilize them since we've incorporated. I see no reason why we wouldn't want to go again. So with that in mind, I'd move to approve resolution 2026-265. Resolution City Council, City of Sandy Oaks, approving action required under Texas Government Code 2254 for the City of Sandy Oaks to provide a written statement and finding of the need for specialized contingent fee legal services and approving a revival and extension agreement for contract to collect delinquent taxes with Lambert, Coggin, Blair, and Sampson LLP for a period to extend out through 2030, September 2030, is that correct?
Yeah. Yes, 9/30, 20.
September 20. All right. motion by Alderman Tremblay and Alderman McNeil to adopt resolution number 2026-265, a resolution of the City Council of the City of San Diego, Texas, approving action required under Texas Government Code 2254 for City of San Diego to provide a written statement finding the need for specialized contingent fee legal services and approving a revival and extension agreement for a contract to collect delinquent taxes with Lundberger, Dragon, Blair, and Sampson LLP to an extent to a period of September of 2030. Do I have any questions before we take a motion? If no questions, all those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed? That motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council.
Thank you.
All right, again, the time is now 6:41. I do want to make another agenda amendment, so let's move to agenda item O. I believe we have Ms. Bennett from Ventured Soul LLC on the line to discuss or take possible action on milestone 3, go live approval under the city's website development agreement with Ventured Soul LLC.
Yeah, sure. She's not online.
She's not online?
No.
Okay. Well, then we will postpone this until a later date. Okay, and then lastly, let's go to agenda item J. J is a public hearing to consider the proposed 2026 tax rate increase to support the budget for fiscal year 2027, beginning October 1st, 2026 and ending September 30th, 2027. This time is provided for citizens to address the mayor and council on the proposed 2026 tax rate to support the 2027 fiscal year budget, which proposed rate is not to exceed 0.568357 on each $100 valuation of property. Please limit your time to a period not to exceed 3 minutes. Time is now 6:43. We are in our public hearing. This is your opportunity to address council with any questions related to the tax rate.
Where did they come up with the
The 0.56?
amount they're raising?
Yep, so it was worked backwards. So we designed basically everything that we wanted, right? All the positions, the spending to accommodate for those positions, to continue to fulfill, animal control, PD expenses, public works expenses, and so on and so forth. And that's the number that we came up with, and that's how we came up with it. So it was working backwards, right? We'd say, well, these are the things that we want as a city, because we feel like these are what the citizens want, and then we created the number, then we backed into I backed into the tax rate, and that's how we came up with that number. Based off of the Bexar County taxable property values.
Well, I know that they have a contract with VIA and these other contracts that they have a set amount that they have to pay every month or every year or whatever in fees. Along with the bond they decided we had to have 2 years ago. So all that stuff is calculated in. How much of that is actual day-to-day usage, not the bond repayment and all this extra stuff? How much is actual operating?
Let me make sure I understand your question. So are you referring to our bond that we passed about 5 years ago? Is that what you're referring? Because you mentioned the bond and then you mentioned VIA. So I don't know if those were the same,
No, those are two different things.
two different things. Okay. So let me address the VIA part, right? The VIA part is separate of what we're doing, right? So I know, and we've all discussed it before, that the VIA part is a portion of revenue that comes from the sales tax, I believe, that is sent to VIA. And that's out of our control. We don't touch that. That money doesn't come in here. That goes straight to VIA. We've looked into getting out of it, and it's
Yeah, they looked at that like 3 years ago, and they said it was going to cost us some outrageous amount of money to
Yes.
break the contract.
correct.
Well, we have no VIA services, but yet we have to pay a fee
Absolutely. And
to VIA.
and to that point, and I know
And
it's
I'm not sure who got us into that to begin with, but
Bear County.
It was via, I mean, it's it. We didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
It's sales tax, it's not property tax.
Well, that's not the way it was explained at that time. They said it was like a royalty fee that we have to pay via, and for so many years until it's paid off. It's kind of like a loan or bond.
Yeah.
That we have to pay this contract until the contract ends, and then we can get out of that contract, but we're locked into it unless we want to pay that plus penalties to end it.
And for what it's worth, and I know this is shooting in the future, right? But I foresee San Antonio really progressing further south. Right? I think we can all see it at this point with the new, McDonald's and things like that coming out, more businesses coming south. Does that mean one for one that we're gonna eventually get via services? Not necessarily. However, I think as San Antonio pushes further south and more citizens come down here, access to public transportation, I believe, right, in my opinion, that we will eventually have some sort of access. Now, we do have access right now in ViaLink. It's a bit of a unique service. It's certainly not a bus, right? You got to call in advance, and you pay for it via an app. And it's $1.30 to get you to Brick City base, right? It doesn't take you everywhere you want to go, but neither does a bus. Regardless, my point is that there is some service, a level of service here, and for the amount of money that we pay in on a yearly basis, and don't quote me on the numbers because I don't remember them offhand. I believe we're profiting, right? Let's use air quotes on that, and in that we are. If more people would take advantage of the service, they would lose money on coming out here, right? So the end of that story is that if we would use the ViaLink properly, and I've used it myself, and it's not terrible, it just only gets you to certain places, we would be profiting off of the service that they provide to Sandy Oaks.
How many people in the city are even aware that they have that option?
I mean, we've pushed it
I
out.
don't see it anywhere on the website.
It's, yeah. I mean, and
Yeah,
that's
a lot of people
unfortunate,
never heard
right? And that's unfortunate because we pushed it out as much as we could.
Isn't it on
So-
the
And
website?
Via's had info sessions in the
Yes,
park, they've
yes,
come to the community center.
Speak
And
up. Or is it
that's,
on
then
the website?
I need you to get connected, right? Like,
That information's not available for somebody to just go look on the website and
Yeah.
know that service is available because they live here.
Yeah, we do have it on Nextdoor as well as Facebook and
Well, everybody
the
doesn't do
website.
social media.
Yes.
Is it on the city website though?
Yes, it is.
It is on the city website?
Correct. Yes, under notifications. The very bottom homepage.
But going back to actual property taxes,
I've never seen it. It
Okay.
just seems
I
like
understand the
there should be an
VFA with
area
the actual
for
property
services
taxes.
so that
How-
people know
going
what
to what he
services
actually
are
asked,
available for this
Of
area.
that 56
Okay.
cents, how much is interest and sinking and what's the actual M&O rate? What's
of
the
that,
split?
the interest and sinking would be 0.02, and the rest of it is, and I'm using rough numbers, right? So, and the rest of it would be M&O.
So basically 54 cents of that is actually maintenance operations,
Correct.
and 2 cents is debt service.
Correct. Yes.
And the bond you were gonna explain?
The- so going back to that question, again, is that our bond, the bond that we passed a few years ago?
The city bond that they went and got to,
For the roads?
so they had to have all this money for, street improvements that we don't have.
Right, and I apologize, can you rephrase, or what was the question one more time, related to the bond?
So how much of that 0.56 is
Yeah.
towards paying back that bond?
Right, so he asked the question, it's 0.02 of the 0.56 is going towards paying back our bond. So the rest of it is for maintenance and operations.
So a 0.3,
Pays our debt service.
okay. So we were operating last year on a 0.1,
No. It was-
0.14?
It stays pretty flat, the INS rate, it doesn't change very much, right? It's the M&O rate that changes a little
I'm
bit.
talking about the city operations was at our taxes, city taxes was a 0.32, I believe?
3-4.
3.4?
Mhm.
Okay, and you're saying a 0.02 of that
Yes,
was for the bond alone,
correct.
so more than half of what you were collecting went towards paying off the bond.
No.
Point
The
three four.
0.034.
0.34 minus 0.02 leaves
Oh, okay.
0.32
Yeah.
that's used for O&M.
Well, if it's only a
Last
0.02
year.
against a 0.3, I was thinking it was a 0.034.
Gotcha.
Why the huge increase? What are we adding on to our city's expenses that are increasing so much that it's gonna more than double what our tax rate is.
Yep, so fair question. In my opinion, and I think everyone here is aware of it, right? In our own budgets, the cost of operating is just becoming more expensive, right? Our light bills, we have to pay the light bills, we pay for the street light bills. You know, we have to.
Not double. I don't believe that it's increased by double.
Yeah, and so if I can finish, right, so it's the light bills, it's the water bills, we want to add a city administrator to run day-to-day services. We've recently implemented a code enforcement officer. We want to continue to have our community center partners. We want to continue to have our animal control technicians. So it's the addition of a few key positions, right? One of them is lieutenant. We want to continue to be able to afford that. And those positions come at a value, right? And they're very hard to obtain if you are not willing to pay for them. We're very understaffed when it comes to police. And I think the FBI average is 2.1 per 1,000 people, and we're barely operating at probably half for the amount of citizens that are in Sandy Oaks. But it's operating costs and it's people that is what's really driving the desire to increase the rate.
What are you doing to change the fact that the only income that the city has is from property taxes? You don't have any other means for really gaining taxes. Everywhere else, you know, like Elmendorf, they get a section of 1604 that they can monitor and get crossing traffic. You have to attack the residents because your limits are within Priest Road and inside this 2.4 square miles.
Yeah.
So it's strictly off of landmass. You have no throughways, you have no other way of generating income other than that little shopping center. So what are y'all doing to make it where there's an increase in the city income without penalizing the residents? Because ever since it's become a city, that's been the problem. Everything is attack the president. The residents get all the money, rate them, all the residents for all the money you can, and then see what you got to work with.
Well, I think that's an unfair statement that we rake the residents for all their money, because if I'm looking at a sheet here that shows we're probably one of the lowest tax rates throughout the Bexar County area.
And
so,
you want to be the highest.
Sure, and that's fair, right? That's a fair statement based off of what we provided. But then to answer your second question, what are we doing? So our revenue is primarily based off of property tax, but we do receive sales tax income, we do receive franchise fees, and we do receive sales tax, right? So, but to answer your question, right, property tax is the main feeder for the city of Sandy Oaks to maintain operations.
So in a long-term plan, what are you doing to correct that, to be able to create revenue without penalizing the residents who live here?
Yeah, unfortunately,
Who wants to live here if they're gonna get penalized for living here?
Well, unfortunately, the city of Sandy Oaks is relatively landlocked, right? So we have a few opportunities to increase our scope with the Waterwood Estates and behind us and the Sandy Oaks Estates to, I don't know, the south of us, right? Again, to your point, it is only property tax because the majority of property here is residential. We do have a few commercial slots that I feel like can be profitable, but we're gonna need San Antonio to push more because they're gonna need to drive residents further south. Then we become a convenience and no longer are we driving to Military Drive, but we're coming to Sandy Oaks because we have, because we have a Dollar General market or a coffee shop or what have you. But to drive more revenue here, we are relatively limited, to your point. We are in communications with different types of, or at least we try to reach out to different businesses and see if it's worthwhile. But we are landlocked, right? We can only so many residents can go out to eat so many times, right? So I mean, to say let's bring in a restaurant, let's bring in a grocery store would be great, but they couldn't survive on just the 5,000 people that live here. So.
Oh, there's way more than 5,000 when you include all the areas.
Correct. Yeah, as those get sold, there'll be quite a bit more.
Yeah, but you're talking 5 years from now.
Sure.
Okay. I think that's way too much of an increase over a 1 year period of time for the residents, because that's what they have done ever since they become a city, is attack the residents for more money. They knew whenever they put it into Bexar County to become a city that they wouldn't generate enough income to support it. But they did it anyway. So now they need a resolution on how to stop attacking the residents for more money and find other ways to generate income. because that's, ever since it became a city, that's what they've done.
No, and that's fair, and I appreciate your opinion that that's what you believe. And not to say that any of us don't disagree with you, or any of us do disagree with you.
Have they proposed to Bear County, an annex, or see if you can extend the borders a little bit?
Yeah, so
Like
I
up to
personally,
1604 or something?
yeah, I've personally gone down to San Antonio, to Commissioner's Courts, to the City of San Antonio, and asked for more, right? And they're reluctant to give it because San Antonio needs the money, right? They're dealing with their own budget deficits, as you see on the TV, so.
Right, but even if you only got them to increase it from 1604 to Hardy Road and give you that section of 37 to be able to monitor and do traffic on, it would relieve some of this constantly just looking to ticket the residents to get money.
Correct.
Looking for a violation in your yard to get money. Looking for anything, your grass is too high because they're trying to get money. Instead of nitpicking the residents to the point that they don't even want to live here because of it, because you're nickel and diming them to try to support a city that should have never been turned into a city. Maybe we need to look at some opportunities to increase where we can monitor and regulate with law enforcement to be able to generate income the same way Elmendorf does.
Sure.
Yeah, and Mayor, one of the options I was going to bring up in a future agenda about hiring a developer, which would cost money, so looking at $12,000 to $13,000, just to hire someone here to figure out what can we bring to the city that would bring income, a consultant, to bring income to the city. So
I mean, to me, that should be a very high priority since our biggest problem right now is not enough income to support the city. You know, you either got to ticket all the people that live here for everything you can find to generate income through fines, or double their property taxes. Well, everybody can't afford for you to double their property taxes. And I think it's wrong for them to expect they should have never turned it into a city to begin with, but that's all in the past. There's nothing can be done about that.
Is that true?
So they need to be looking at
Is that true?
what can we
Can
do
we
to
not?
generate income.
Do we still have to be a city? Why can't we unincorporate?
Because they got that bond, and once you get that bond, you can't
We can't
All that-
vote.
all that.
You can't dissolve the city because you have that loan.
Everything that was, I've read about 2013, 2000, my name's Susan Garcia, has not happened. I've only been here a short time, but from what I read, everything that people wanted to become a city has not happened, none of it. And I lived in Monte Vista. My house is selling right now, I'm living here, for a lot of reasons, okay? My taxes there are 2.65, and you want to raise this at it would be like 2.47 here. I mean, you've got to be kidding me. You just said that you're one of the lowest tax cities, because this city is one of the lowest. There's nothing here. There is nothing to pay taxes for. You don't provide anything, and that's fine. That's one of the reasons I want to live here, actually, okay? But don't tell me that you're the lowest, taxed for no reason. You don't provide anything.
But we
There's
can
no
increase
jobs.
it be higher than everybody.
There's no jobs, there are very few. There's very little police, that they don't even show up, it's Bear County that shows up. So animal control is lacking, lights, streets, whatever, I mean, there's nothing
And all
here.
those cost money,
There's-
right?
Right,
So
but everybody that was here in 2008, I mean, I don't know what the heck the promises were, but none of it's happened.
Almost Park is
You know what Monte Vista is?
$1 million people.
It's one,
And-
yeah, I mean,
And their taxes, for example, her taxes was about 15,000 last year, just on her 2%.
I have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath house,
And-
over 100 years old.
And now you're wanting to go even with them.
I
at
have
this
3
point.
universities, multiple restaurants, I've got the Strip, I've got the Pearl, I've got hospitals all around me, fire department 3 streets down, city, streets, a sewer. You guys got nothing, okay, so we don't wanna pay taxes like that
Sure.
to be here,
That's
okay?
ridiculous. to be
Where's,
paying that
what
much.
city was that again?
It's San
Almost Park?
Antonio, Monte Vista is an historic neighborhood
Right.
in San Antonio.
So it's historic, so it's over 100 years old probably, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Sandy Oaks is, for reference, right, 14 years old. It's hard, that's very apples to oranges. But I
don't wanna
understand,
pay for
but
that.
I understand your
You're
point,
talking
right?
about different
They've got
incomes, too.
commercial, you've
You're
got
talking
$1
about
million
raising
properties.
our taxes to be the
incomes
same as
compared
hers
to
was
$1,000
over there.
incomes.
Oh,
And
I'm
we
all
offer
for
nothing.
it.
It's a great argument on paper, but when you look at it, it doesn't compare to what we're trying to do.
It does make sense,
We're trying
because they're
to-
making $1 million.
Yeah, it does.
They're making $1 million over there, and we're making only $2,000 in here.
And they've
I
got,
make less than $1,000 in
Let's
this
let's
neighborhood.
keep it.
and
let's
they've
keep
got
it-
resources all around them. They can walk to a store.
Sure, again, right, and that's because they've been around for 100 years, right? When Sandy
Okay, but
Oaks,
you're wanting to make our
when Sandy
taxes
Oaks has
just
been
as high
around
as
for
theirs
100
are,
years,
and we don't have
we
any
will
of that.
probably have to walk to the gas station store, right?
And then we'll be paying what, $4,000 a month in tax, or a year in taxes?
No, and look, don't take anything of what I'm saying as argumentative. I understand your point. I'm not trying to disprove you. I'm just saying, like, look, I also understand that example is a very gross example of, yes, we want to raise that to what they're paying over there, but to say that they're, you know, that we are what they are is not true, right?
Exactly, that's why I shouldn't be taxed, that's what
We
they
shouldn't
are.
be paying the same taxes as they do then.
It should be less than half, almost nothing, because there's almost nothing provided here, which is fine, that's why I wanted to live here.
Yeah.
That's great, I agreed to that, okay?
Yeah.
But not to this,
No, that's fine.
okay?
That's fine.
And also, I had a question, you don't have to answer me if you don't want to. Is it, can Sandy Oaks police cars and Parks Department be in San Antonio on errands and running and doing things personally?
How do we know if it's personal?
Um,
And well, and actually, let me.
that was a question.
Let me point of
I'm not
reference. Hold on.
accusing, I'm
No. But you're right. You're right. That's a good question to ask. But let me point of reference. This is related to the budget, right? And so-
That's the budget. Is that not part of the taxes? Am I paying their gasoline? Am I paying for that car? That is part of my taxes. I want to know where, if those cars are allowed to be out of this city for personal reasons. With my tax money.
Sandy Oaks vehicles are able to exit the city for business purposes.
Only business.
Correct.
Okay, is that documented somewhere? When you leave with one of your vehicles, is it written down that you've left this area and why?
Or
Because
the-
guess what?
Or the
When I-
vehicles assigned to individuals.
Yeah, well,
It should be written down.
for the most part, they're assigned to individuals. I think the police department rotates, so. it
Do they
can
take
be-
them home?
They do not.
Okay, so is it written down where those vehicles are and who's driving them and when? And if they leave this area, that needs to be documented and put on the public website. Because-
If I just say, if they're out on business, if they're taking the vehicle for servicing, if they're out buying, getting their gas tank filled or whatever, they're entitled to a break, and they're entitled to a.
Oh, they don't
break
have to
during
stay in
it,
Sandy Oaks
and
and
then
pay this expensive gas if it's one gas station. Why?
They go to court. in
Why?
town,
So I have to
court.
pay for the gas for them to go to a cheaper gas station?
We all.
No. Yeah, we all do, but
Well-
the taxpayers are paying for that gas, is that not right?
Correct.
No, they shouldn't be able to go to San Antonio to get cheaper gas.
But they're out
Am I
there-
right?
they're
On
out
my
there-
dime.
They're going to court, they're going to get their
Okay,
cars
but that needs to
repaired.
be documented where those vehicles are and why.
And who's driving them?
Yes.
I mean, we have a ton of vehicles sitting out there that say City of Sandy Oaks.
This
Who are
ain't
all
your
those
play
vehicles
toy,
for?
your play car, okay?
I know we're paying insurance on all
We
those
didn't bring
vehicles.
any evidence.
You got
but
purchase price of
there
all of
has
them.
been at
Why do we
least-
have so
at
many
least
city
5
vehicles that we
different
have no
times
city position?
Where they weren't at court, where they weren't at anywhere else, but I can't prove it right now, but I tell you what, we will start proving it.
Well,
We will start identifying where
Because
they're
we've
at.
seen it.
If y'all wanna
we've
double
seen
our
it.
taxes, then we wanna know
And that's
every one of
fair.
these vehicles,
And
who's
my,
assigned
you know, and I'll give
to
you,
drive them all weekend.
I'll give you this example. My own sister has called me and says, what is Sandy Oaks doing here? And so then I call the supervisor, hey, what's going on? Oh yeah, they're over there because of X, Y, Z. So, I mean.
Can I do that? Can I
yeah,
call
why-
you?
why- yeah,
You gonna give me your cell phone?
It's on my card, ma'am. It's on the
Alright,
website.
I
You're
want
more
it,
than welcome to
because
take it
when I
down.
see Sandy Oaks, I'm
It's
gonna
been
call
there
you.
since I started. My information has always been public.
They have no business unless it's business.
Right,
And it
exactly.
needs to be written down
Exactly.
and documented.
Okay.
And it need to be, so I can print it out.
Fair.
Let's see, what else? Is there a possibility of unincorporating the city? Is that legal? Is that a way to do that?
I don't believe that's
I'm new
related
to
to
this
the-
whole,
yeah.
small
Because of the
town
bond, it's
government
not
thing.
possible.
Why is it not possible?
Because of the bond, because they have a loan.
But we would need time to research a question like that, that's not part of this agenda.
Okay. Well, it would save me some taxes, wouldn't it? And it's interesting, it's about this de minimis thing. De minimis, interesting. I had to read a lot of credit because I don't understand what y'all are doing. But did you know that means small perks given to workers, snacks, coffee, holiday gifts. De minimis is like unimportant, that's listed on here, like,
I think you're thinking of it, from a reimbursement standpoint.
Well,
I don't believe it's the same de minimis for our tax
it
rate.
means, it basically means like trivial. The IRS, I mean, I got the definition of that from multiple sources. I don't know what y'all need for paper and whatever, coffee and all that. I work for the federal government, and guess what? They don't provide us coffee while we're working. So I hope my tax money is not paying for your coffee. Is it? That's a good question. Is our tax money paying for your coffee
De
and your
minimis
drink
is,
and your
the
cup?
de minimis that you're referencing is for fringe benefits. That's not the
Are
de
y'all-
minimis, that's not the de minimis rate that.
Is my tax money paying for your coffee cups, your coffee, and your drinks while you're here?
Yeah, we're not required to answer that.
Oh, you're not?
So this is, right, public hearing. So I will tell you, we do use money, right, to buy our city workers water if they are in the park, bottles of
Yes,
water,
Mr.
those
Steve.
type of things. Yes,
Can we
ma'am.
vote on that? I don't wanna pay for your water. I don't wanna pay for your fringe benefits. You're smiling, and you think that's funny. It's not funny. So can we vote on that? Can that be on the agenda next time?
I don't think that's something that.
Federal government does not pay for me to work a full-time job with benefits for drinks, food, anything. Okay? You guys should not have that. It's not funny. It's, I'm not sure what your name is.
Okay, we have 3 people who have 3 minutes apiece. Mayor, is that, are we at a 3-minute limit per
Yeah.
person?
Do we have anybody online that wants to speak to this topic?
We do have
Or
Ms. Bennett, she came back.
Okay. Anybody else in the room that wants to address?
When are
the-
they voting on this increase?
So we will vote to adopt a tax rate today, potentially. And if we do adopt a tax rate that is over the de minimis rate, then that will trigger an election. And then you, as the citizens, will have the opportunity to vote on the tax rate come November.
I have a quick question, and I put it on the neighborhood apps, y'all probably read it, laughed at it, but I don't care. 61, I don't care. What about our citizens that are here, that if there's an absentee voting, or if they're homebound, how can they vote? I mean, we have, I don't know, how many police, 2, 3? You know, for them to vote, if they can't drive, they can't walk, how can they vote? How can their vote be heard?
You
We
have
should,
to request a mail-in ballot from Bear County.
so they would have to call over there to bring it over here,
They'll mail it to them.
and then they can mail it back?
Correct.
So, again, I don't wanna get ahead of myself with the coach ahead of the horses, but is that on the email for our citizens to know that? I'm just
Oh,
saying.
that if they want to be a mail-in vote? or if
Right,
they
I
need
mean,
help?
do they know that? Cause I didn't know that, because since this is city of San Antonio, it's here, city of Sandy Oaks, I figured I'd be getting it from this location to my house, not getting it from city of San Antonio to get it back over there for the vote to count
It's
here,
actually from the county,
the county.
so you have to call Bear County and then tell them you need a mail-in voting,
But that's what I'm saying.
and they'll send it.
If this is such a city, shouldn't we have the resources to call here or mail here?
Elections are held through
As
the
a
county.
city, we're on the county
Okay.
ballots.
Right.
So there's things that are county, things that are city, and it'll all be on one ballot on the election on November 3rd.
Okay.
So you'll go, if you were to
Wherever.
go in person, you would go and you would vote on a ballot
Right,
that
yeah.
has multiple options and only your city's choices. Live Oak's choices will be on their ballots.
What I'm
Elmendorf's
saying
choices will
is-
be